Let's explore why the Americans with Disabilities Act matters. The ADA is more than a legal requirement. It's a commitment to fairness, dignity, and inclusion. It ensures that individuals with disabilities can access the same opportunities as everyone else. For us in the public and nonprofit sectors, it also reflects our mission to serve equitably and represent our diverse communities. ADA compliance reduces the risk of discrimination lawsuits, promotes employee satisfaction, and ultimately helps us build trust in our institutions. So, what problems are addressed by the ADA? The ADA helps us address some critical workplace challenges. It tackles discrimination and helps us eliminate barriers to hiring, promotion, and full participation. It's also a tool to clarify some misconceptions around accommodations. Too often, our misunderstandings prevent organizations from tapping into really qualified talent. And when we ignore accommodation needs, it can lead to costly legal actions and reputational harm. At its core, the ADA helps us ensure that everyone who's qualified has the chance to contribute to the success of an organization. Now, what exactly qualifies as a disability under the ADA? It includes any physical or mental impairment that substantially limits one or more major life activities, things like walking, seeing, hearing, learning, and working. But it also protects individuals with a record of such an impairment who are perceived as having one. And that's important to remember. Managers don't have to diagnose someone, and an employee doesn't have to use the word disability to be protected. If someone expresses difficulty related to a medical condition, that should be your cue to start the conversation. So now you're probably wondering, what can a manager do to support an employee with a disability? This is where reasonable accommodations come in. These are adjustments that allow someone to perform their essential job duties without causing undue hardship to the organization. And some of these examples are making facilities accessible, restructuring tasks, modifying work schedules, or even offering different application formats. It could mean providing adaptive equipment like ergonomic chairs or sit and stand desks, or even allowing time off as part of the accommodation. This slide does not have a full list of what can be considered a reasonable accommodation, but should provide some insight on what you can provide. The key is that accommodations are flexible. What works for one person may not work for another. When an employee requests an accommodation or even just mentions a difficulty, managers must begin what is called the interactive process. And this is an ongoing good faith conversation between you and the employee to explore and brainstorm on what accommodations could be helpful. This is not about solving everything at once in one discussion or meeting. It's about being collaborative and creative and showing that you're making a genuine effort. Documentation is going to be super important, but also listening and truly understanding the needs of the employee is equally important. Your role is to engage and not make any medical or personal judgment. Understanding essential and marginal job functions, along with the job itself, is critical. The ADA only requires that accommodations allow an employee to perform the essential functions of a job. This does not include every single task. So let's take Jamie as an example. Jamie is a public health data analyst who, after a car accident, is unable to sit for long periods of time. Her essential job function, analyzing data, can be done successfully with a sit-stand desk, but the marginal function of setting up chairs is not core to her role and can be reassigned. By identifying what's truly essential, we can make reasonable job accommodations without compromising the role. Here are a few quick reminders for managers. First, Be sure to treat all requests seriously. Engage in the conversation when an employee mentions a difficulty and document the process. Keep notes on the conversations and steps being taken during the interactive process. Keep it confidential. Do not share any medical or disability-related information with anyone who does not need to know. Focus on ability and not limitations. Focus on what employees can do, and be sure to check in regularly to ensure that the accommodation is working and adjust if needed. More information can be found in the summary guide for this training that will be available to you after this training concludes. Thank you.